It is the Riot Podcast. Good Tuesday, May 22nd to you. May 2nd, I mean.
I was like, wow,
jump.
the month really went by.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how yesterday I had a good day. Something good happened to me.
What
After
happened?
the show, I got this email. It was from the McKnight versus Uber class action lawsuit.
Yeah.
Guess who's the proud owner of 25 cents?
From a lawsuit?
Yeah.
Hudson always signs up for class action lawsuits, but you just don't get anything from them.
It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes it's 25 cents. Sometimes
It's $1.
it's $1.
Have you even taken an Uber?
Yeah, I've taken an Uber.
All right.
I wish I would have taken more. I would have gotten more back in this settlement.
Some people, I feel like, sign up for the class action lawsuits. They don't require a lot of times verification. They're just like, did you really? Did you buy this? Because it's been so long. And I feel like some people just lie.
This one is so crazy, too, because when I got the email, I looked it up. I was like, I don't even remember this. I think the lawsuit was from like 2018.
Oh, it took that long?
And I just now got my 25 cents from it.
How did you get your 25 cents?
What do you mean?
Like, is it a bank deposit?
They
is
direct
it a
deposit
credit
you?
card?
Yeah,
or?
direct
Send a check.
My bank has changed since then, but yeah, it's like a check.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, with that, and you signed up for the Facebook one, you're going to be rolling in
Eventually,
it.
and that was like 5 years ago, the Uber one. So who knows all the other lawsuits I signed up for in the meantime that I'm still waiting for money on. I don't keep track of it.
I mean,
This
a
is-
quarter at a time.
Yeah.
This is how you're going to retire one day. Living off these lawsuits. Well, you did have a big day.
I did.
All right.
Huge
Well,
day.
on to today. We do have some fun stuff for you in the podcast
I don't
today.
know how we can top that, but
Well, we talked about dinks.
What was the other word, though? We didn't get it in there.
Dinkwad.
Dinkwad.
It's so immature, but it's so clever.
we alluded to it.
That's a double income.
No kids.
No kids.
No kids with dog.
With a dog.
With a dog.
Yeah.
I think that's funny.
So if you want to live a lifestyle of luxury, never have children.
Is what this will be. This current trend is showing everybody.
We also went over some traditions that we'd like to get rid of, and ones that we think should see the past. We had some good ones texted in, as well as ones that we came up with.
I think one that we didn't get to was having children.
It's a tradition.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Actually,
That
that's
is
a great
true.
thing to put. Yeah.
A lot of people would love to get rid of that. And look at the lives they're living without children, shackling them
Luxury.
to a home and a school.
We're already overpopulated as is.
So it's fine. No one will mind it.
The population is dropping,
Is it really?
Actually,
Or
yes, it
fertility rates, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So we're supposed to be
Because of
having
all the
kids?
dinks.
No, I think it'll
I
probably,
think it's fine.
it'll probably level out. But they just said no one's getting together, no one's staying together, especially through COVID. So especially
Well,
for different countries. It's
I
just
mean-
I
really
think that's
down.
okay, though, because if you went to buy a house right now, it doesn't feel like the population's very low.
No,
Does it
but
now?
when we're fine now, but when we retire,
Then it'll be different.
then we'll wish that there were more kids.
Yeah.
Because
Because if there's not enough kids to work, then there's not enough people to pay Social Security so that
the older people.
oh yeah,
people
that's our
can
Social
have-
Security's already gone.
Yeah, we're
so,
screwed.
So, yeah, we're done with that. It's like, we can't even hold out for that at this point.
So if you want to add a tradition you think we should get rid of, feel free to text at 8772 RadioU.
How about living a long life?
Oh, there you go.
Then you don't have to worry about it.
Don't worry.
There it
Yeah.
is.
All right. The more
That was
you,
fine
can retire
for the
so much
previous
earlier.
generations, but for us, I think we should. We should just let's curb it at 65.
the more you talk about it, the more good ideas are coming out of this. These are great.
We also went over some of the highlights from the Met Gala and what you missed last night.
Was there any outfits that caught your eye, Isaiah?
All of them. All of them caught my eye.
You just know Isaiah's just looking at them all day today. That's
I
all
love
you
the
get
Met
news
Gala.
wise.
Alexandra Daddario, I saw
I
was there.
love the Met Gala.
Yeah.
One of my favorite events of the year.
I don't think he's telling the truth. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe you do enjoy seeing him. So, all right. Well, that's it for the podcast today. KB also joined us. We cannot forget him. He's an artist we love here at Radio U. So if you missed that interview and you want to watch it, Radio U Riot on Facebook or a YouTube channel, just click to find the KB interview from today.
And we'll catch you next time.
Have a good day.
Hey, guys.
Hey, they're already eating anyways. Might as well do it on the show. The Riot with Nikki and Hudson. Radio U.
Are you prepared for some possible strife today?
Strife?
Yes.
Between all of us? Or?
Among the cohort here at Radio U, there could be some consternation that comes about because we have a little bit of a problem.
Well, there must be if you're throwing around the big words.
Yeah. Do you even know what consternation means? You can figure it out with context clues, I'm
yes,
sure.
I can.
We have a coffee problem.
A coffee problem?
Yeah. We've been running low, right, on our standard stuff.
Yes.
The standard stuff is gone.
Okay.
We had the protest coffee.
That's gone?
That's gone. And so we've reached our last resort.
The piñon?
Yeah, but it's not just any piñon because it's pine nut coffee from New Mexico. We bought it several times because we enjoy it.
We love that coffee.
But they make different flavors of it. And sometimes we've gotten a bit too adventurous. We got too big for our britches and we bought stuff thinking we would like it. And then we literally make it one time and everybody realizes we can't have this again.
So there's been this one bag of piñon coffee that's just been here for a while that no one ever finishes.
Yeah, no, because nobody usually there's somebody that's like, fine, if nobody else wants it.
You'll just have it.
I'll take it home or I'll make French press versions of it or whatever here. But this one has not been a fan. Nobody's been a fan.
Yeah.
So it's just been sitting there as the emergency coffee.
Did you have to make it today?
Yeah, it's an emergency.
Uh-oh.
We ran out of everything else.
Listen, I'm not scheduled to go to Costco for a bit. Someone's going to have to grab other coffee.
But I don't have a Costco membership,
Someone's going to have to pick a non-Costco coffee, though.
But they don't sell big bags. The bags aren't big enough.
All right, why don't you do this? If I can't go today, someone needs to go, and you stand outside the door, and you just beg someone to buy it for you. You're like, listen, dude, I'll promise I'll pay you back.
An underage drinker.
Yes.
Yeah, just solicit outside of Costco.
You're like, will you give me the Kirkland medium signature brand one, please?
Yeah, I'll take care of you. I swear when you come back out.
So if you don't want to do that, gosh, I wasn't planning, but I didn't know it was so bad. I didn't know we're having that coffee.
Yeah, we're running low. So, I mean, I've made it and I was like, how bad can it be? And I haven't actually sipped it yet, but then I smelled it when it was brewing and I was
bad.
like, oh, it might be pretty bad.
I don't even remember the flavor, but I just remember.
Lemon cookie.
Oh, and you know what? It sounded so promising.
It does, doesn't
but
it?
It turned out to be like this weird citrusy bitter thing.
Yeah.
And it was just weird.
It just doesn't work for us. So I apologize to all the other RadioU staff that has to deal with this as well. I hope we can all manage.
No, don't apologize. This is your guys' own doing. You need, someone else has to. I cannot be the one for the coffee. I don't even drink the coffee.
Yeah, that's not really fair, is it?
So someone is going to have to step up, and this is your own doing.
It's crazy. There's really like 3 of us that drink the coffee, and none of us want to go buy it.
Why don't you just go order it, have it delivered?
How can I do that?
You could have an Amazon brand or something.
Maybe.
Maybe you don't get to have Costco coffee.
That's, I'll take anything if it's not this lemon cookie.
Okay, we can look for something.
I'm fine with that. Coming up next, we've got a follow-up to the hit series Dahmer. You want to know what they're doing next?
Oh, Netflix.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
And Hudson takes his first sip. No, just
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on RadioU.
Last night was the Met Gala. Nikki, were you following along?
I saw some of the fashion this morning when I woke up.
It was quite the display yesterday.
Are you disappointed it's taken over our news options?
No, I'm ready to talk about it. I'm excited.
All right. Well,
There's some great outfits.
Normally we have more news availability, but this is now just, outfit after outfit.
Well, when all the celebrities are in one place, that's the news. That's what is news. So what have you noticed from the Met Gala last night? Was it a lot of people, the first thing they caught was the steps?
What do you mean? Like just going up the steps?
The look of the steps. Did you see them?
I didn't even notice.
Some are comparing them to toothpaste.
Oh, really?
Because they're white and then they have blue and red streaks through them.
That's weird.
Like when you squeeze the toothpaste out of the tube, which I still don't know how they managed to make that happen in your toothpaste. It's magical.
You're the person who designed, you worked really hard. You wanted to make some different steps, and then you find out your steps are the meme. Because they're toothpaste. They're
the toothpaste steps, although some people also compared them to bomb pops. The summertime treat.
Yeah.
So
I can totally see it.
Then we got some of the outfits. A$AP Rocky and is that how you say it?
Yeah.
And Rihanna showed up and A$AP Rocky was wearing jeans and some kind of kilt type apparatus, and then he had like a suit top.
Yeah.
That's his outfit for the Met Gala.
That was his take on the Met Gala. Always has like a theme, and that
The
was
theme was Karl Lagerfeld.
Yeah, so a
how
lot of
does that tie into that?
Well, a lot of people were just wearing his old designs. So a lot of his stuff had been in commercials or just famous designs from years ago. So a lot of people were just wearing that.
Yes. How did I miss that?
Maybe the jeans weren't.
Yeah, that's right. Another something big at the Met Gala last night. Serena Williams.
Yeah.
She's pregnant.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, isn't that exciting? So I guess if you were thinking she was going to make a return to tennis,
Not going to happen.
not in the next 9 months, anyways. Probably.
Seems like a lot of people save announcements for this big party.
Yeah, that's for sure. I also have not one, but two people who dressed up as actual cats.
Well, Karl Lagerfeld was famous for his fluffy white cat. And
Choupette,
the cat,
I've learned.
Yeah, got a lot of money when he died. And I think the cat lives better than us.
Yeah. Oh, there's no thinking
There's no
about
question?
it. Yeah.
So people were wondering if anybody would do the ultimate thing and dress like the cat.
Have you seen who dressed up like the cat?
I saw Jared Leto.
Jared Leto dressed up in an actual cat costume, which I would expect more from him.
Oh, it was an ornate costume, though.
It looks like just a mascot.
No,
it looks like he could show up at a basketball game and jump off a trampoline.
See, I'm not agreeing with you on that because it felt so custom, like designer, that it was obviously way more expensive.
The Kentucky Wildcats also have a custom designer outfit they put their mascot in.
Touché.
It just gets really sweaty and gross after a while.
Maybe the Wildcats are like, can we have the costume when you're done with it?
Also, Doja Cat, obviously, that makes sense that she would also have a cat take on the evening. And then the real star of the evening showed up. The cockroach.
Oh, I saw that.
The cockroach. And it was funny watching. There was an actual cockroach on the steps of the Met Gala. And it seemed that nobody wanted to actually go ahead and just crush it
Yeah, no
or
one
whatever.
wanted to squish it.
You'd see people kind of dancing around it for a while. So the cockroach was another star of the evening. Can you tell me this?
Yeah.
What happens at the Met Gala?
It's a dinner. It's like a fundraiser.
They eat
Yeah.
in those costumes. They put food in their mouths.
I think some of them change, and then there's like an after party where they change again.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just not, fancy enough to be invited, but it's probably different once you're in the
I
inside.
intend to change that one day.
One time you're going to get
I'm going to go to the Met Gala.
You're like, yeah, can I be the plus one with a cockroach, please?
I mean, you see some of the other people that show up there. It's attainable. We can do it. We can definitely be there. And I already have great fashion sense. So I
have
think.
to be famous or someone in the fashion industry or very wealthy.
Oh, last one. Did you see Pedro Pascal's outfit?
His knees.
Yeah, what was he doing?
I don't know. His
You know
knees
what?
were showing.
Somehow he still looked great. I don't know how he does it.
People were like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
naked knees.
Yeah, show us some more knee, Pedro.
So he was also most talked about last night.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Would you say that you use cash more than you used to? Have you started picking up that habit?
I have been trying, but I just am not consistent with it.
Yeah.
So like you'll say, go through a time like I've been spring cleaning. So I've been selling a lot on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
So I have cash.
Do you sell more with cash on there than like Venmo or whatever?
Actually, people have been more wanting to pay with cash.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I use Cash App or Venmo. I don't use Zelle because that's just like the ultimate scam right now.
Scam.
Oh, it is. Everybody wants that, and then they want to get your phone number and your stuff, and then it's just a
See,
scam.
I like Zelle the best because no fees.
True, but
It
that's
goes
why
straight to your
everybody's
bank account.
That's why everybody's using it for the scams.
That's what I do when I go out to a nice meal and I want to split the bill with somebody. I say, you know what? Let me Zelle you.
In person,
Let me
it's
send
great.
you some Zelles.
In person, it is.
But yeah, I agree with you that on Facebook Marketplace and stuff, I always prefer cash because then it feels like it's bonus money.
Yeah.
Where if they Zelle you, then it just goes into the bank account and the big pot that I have in there full of cads,
So you
full of
can't-
money.
You can't spend it on fun stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't feel the same. But apparently, there's a lot of people that are taking even more initiative in the cash realm than we are because 53% of people, according to a new survey, say that they use cash more now than they did a year ago. Some are chalking this up to a trend on TikTok called cash stuffing.
Yeah, the envelopes.
What is that?
You've never watched those?
No.
Okay, you and I live in different worlds.
Yeah, you live in the world where you watch TikTok, and I don't live in
You
that
do.
world.
Yeah, that's why it's different. It goes back to what is the one money guy, Dave Ramsey.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if anybody else does it, but it was always like you put cash towards certain things, and each month you replenish the cash. So like you have like a movie fund, or you have your utilities, or a clothing fund, and you can only withdraw from that cash. So instead of using your bank account, because you would just spend,
Yeah.
you'll have an envelope system where there's like $100 here, or there's $50 here. And then during the month, if you're going to eat out, you take the money from that. And then when it's empty until the end of the month.
That's
so it's
tough.
a cash envelope system.
That'll teach you some lessons quick and painfully.
Painful?
Yeah, quick and painful.
Because when the cash in the envelope is done, you're not supposed to spend past that point.
Yeah, and then you just start taking it from another envelope, and then that envelope is empty. Then you take it from another
So on
envelope, and all of a
TikTok,
sudden you have no money for groceries.
There's a lot of people who will restuff the envelopes and show what they spent money on each video.
I've definitely not seen that, but I get the idea of using cash, and I feel like it's actually real smart because you can't spend cash you don't have.
Correct.
You can spend money in a bank account, or certainly with a credit card, that you don't necessarily have. So it can, and you're right. When you just have a big, this is all of the money I have in a bank account,
You'll keep spending.
then you don't realize how much you'll wind up spending on one certain area of your life that you're going way overboard with it. So it makes a lot of sense. And Nikki, you've been through this like I have. The bank account, you never know when one day something's going to go wrong with it.
I know. That's why you have to be very careful, because if someone empties out your account, you're stuck.
Yeah. Now, the difficulty, I think the only issue I have with the cash, maybe the thing holding me back, is paying for groceries or going out to eat and paying with cash is all nice and well and good. It's paying like your bills and stuff in cash.
Yeah, you just can't.
Yeah. If you want to drain like the whole bank account and just always have your cash with you, always have it in envelopes, then that makes it more difficult to get those bills dealt with.
So they say, though, that that's the new thing, and that's mostly because inflation was so bad, cost of living was so bad, and then everybody was using, they actually have found a correlation between tap-to-pay cards. So like all of us just use our credit cards and you tap and pay. It's just so easy to buy everything with credit cards that it builds more credit card debt. So that's the opposite.
That's a good point. Yeah, we all need to be a little more mindful with what we have, I think, especially in this day and age.
A little frugal.
Yeah, we gotta watch
Get
what we
yourself
do.
some envelopes. You could try it.
Well, I don't have an envelope yet.
Then you have to get an envelope folder to put it in.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
We've hit May. Summertime should be here anytime now. It's getting there. And you know what comes with summertime is tick season.
Oh, no.
And ticks actually can be found all year round. Potentially, but of course, in the spring and into the summer months is when they are most prevalent. That's when they start to awaken from their winter slumber.
And not to blame them, but I will. I feel like if you're a dog owner, they're the ones bringing it in.
It's definitely the dogs. The dogs are the big issue. So this year, they say, and this is according to experts on the matter, that ticks may be even more prevalent this year. And that's something that's just going to continue on because ticks just continue to spread. They've been kind of spreading into different areas, and there's not a lot of natural predators for ticks. So they're just, I guess they're latching onto your dog, and then your dog takes them to a new home.
And your dog likes to sleep in bed with you, and before you know it, you wake up and you have a tick on your arm.
Yeah, so we're now seeing that there are even more types of ticks that you might find in your own backyard. And so I'm going to tell you what you need to do to avoid ticks. Are you ready? Because we don't want to get. In fact, before I tell you how to avoid them, let me tell you why you should avoid them. Because one, they're just gross.
Yes.
Getting bit by a little bug that sucks your blood. It's nasty. Obviously, everybody knows ticks can give you Lyme disease. They can also give you anaplasmosis, which can lead to respiratory failure, organ failure, and even death.
Every time I see a clip from a medical show, it's always like something's mysterious and wrong, and they can't figure it out, and they're like, "It's a tick."
It was a tick, the whole time. Also, babesiosis, which has complications like low blood pressure, anemia, malfunction of vital organs, and death. Yes, that is a complication. Rocky Mountain spotted fever and Lone Star ticks can also cause humans to develop a meat allergy.
That's weird.
The worst of all.
I know, that's awful.
Yeah, so we got to avoid the ticks. Here's what you do. You wear light-colored clothing.
I wonder why. They don't like it?
I think that I remember hearing about that about mosquitoes, that they're attracted to or deterred by certain colors. And so I guess that would apply to ticks as well. It says light-colored clothing, a long-sleeve shirt, and tuck your shirt into your pants so look like a weenie. And that is how you can avoid ticks is one way.
What a mature way to handle that. I know, but like I agree because I'm usually wearing slides or flip-flops.
Yeah.
And then I don't have anything to tuck into. And they're like, and I don't wear long sleeve shirts in the summertime.
But socks with flip-flops is a trend now, Nikki. So
I know,
you
I'm
can
wearing
do that.
it today.
Yeah, you can do that. Just tuck your pants into your socks.
That'll look good.
Tuck your shirt into your pants.
Yep.
And wear a long sleeve shirt and just tuck everything into everything, and then you'll be safe. Also, tick repellent, obviously. Check
your clothes.
Check your clothes, and then check your dogs routinely. Check yourself, especially when you shower. They also say there's like a spray-on insecticide that you can get to put on your shoes and clothing if you know you're going to be outside. That should help with ticks as well. So, and of course, you do this. You give your dogs the anti-tick like pill or this little gel or whatever. You think that stuff works?
I have given that to my dogs in the past, and they still bring them in. But I never had a tick on me that, as far as I know, that's like attached. I've always just seen them just walking on me.
Your whole life?
I don't think so. I've never had one pulled off.
You know what that means?
What?
You're not spending enough time outdoors.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Me and my slides will stay inside.
I guess when I develop a meat allergy because I just can't stop breathing the fresh air, I'll be the one that's foolish.
I'll let you tuck your clothes in and go outside if you want.
I'm going to look great.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on RadioU.
You ever seen the art piece called Comedian? It's a banana duct taped to a wall.
I don't think so.
I haven't checked that one out yet.
It's pretty famous.
Sounds sick.
Sick?
Yeah, it sounds sick.
Like awesome?
Like it sounds so original. Sounds so cool.
It is. It was,
What's that? It's probably worth more money than all of us combined.
The two different certified versions of Comedian have sold for $120,000
each or total?
Does it really matter?
Well,
so do those people just peel the duct tape off and then they take it in their home and then they duct tape it on their wall, or how does it work?
I think that's how it works.
But the banana would go bad. Is it a real banana or is it an art banana?
It's a real banana.
Real banana?
It's a real banana. So maybe that's
Is this money laundering?
Maybe that's something you could. That's part of the art that makes you think is you see how art ages.
Yeah. Oh, that is good.
How through time your interpretation of it may change, just the way that the banana may brown over time. Okay, so it's a famous art installation, a famous art piece that goes back to 2019. Although it's kind of the whole idea of it from the artist himself, Maurizio Catalan, is kind of like it's anti-art type thing.
And that was back then. It's not currently going on.
What a rebel.
But obviously you can't just have, he sold two versions of it and then it will reappear at different museums, and the banana has to be swapped out like every few days because it will go bad.
Yeah.
And maybe the duct tape too, it might lose its stickiness. But we have a guy in South Korea who went to a display of this art piece, and what do you think he did?
He stole the banana?
He took the banana, he ate it.
Uh-oh.
And then he duct taped the peel back to the wall.
Well, I mean, is that still art? Can someone...
Well, they just replace the banana like they do every 3 days, so it's not a big deal.
They're not trying to charge them the money, are they?
Some people are upset about it, but the artist himself even says, not a big deal. He's kind of rolling with the punches with it. But you think about it, it is like a $120,000 art piece that was just defaced in some. I mean, if somebody went and ate a piece of the Mona Lisa, people would be upset, wouldn't they?
A little different because it's a banana.
And they replace it every couple of days anyway. So just put another one up there.
They say that the guy has told people that he was hungry after skipping breakfast, but he did eventually confess that it was an orchestrated prank, and then he wanted to assert the damaging a work of modern art could also be artwork in itself. So that was his argument.
That's the type of thing you can only say when you're eating a banana, not when you're doing something to the Mona Lisa. You can't make that. If you go and deface the Mona Lisa, you can't be like, well, this is also part of the art. Mm-hmm. It's not going to work.
Well, they say, again, for this installation, the museum just replaces, like Isaiah was saying, the banana anyways, so no harm done.
No harm, no foul.
I hate art. I think it's stupid.
Because you don't understand it, or just it's not for us.
In what world would this be considered art? It's a banana taped to the wall. If I had this in my house, Hudson would walk in and be like, dude, you're gross. Like, you're disgusting. Why do you have that taped to your wall?
But then you explain that it's art, and then you say, see, you're the one with the problem because you interpret that as garbage, but when one man's trash, another man's treasure.
Similar to the riot, this is why art sucks. It's because all the artists think they're smarter than everybody else. And so whenever I walk in there, I'm like, no, it's not that you don't like the art, it's that you don't understand it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to understand this. One of those things.
Now, if you could come up with something, though, that'd be worth $120,000, then artist we are.
Well, if I can go in there and tape a tomato to the wall, and they're willing to pay me $100K for that, then I am a genius.
Don't give them ideas.
I think you have to go to school for that first.
Oh, of course.
That's the qualification.
Makes sense.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Let me throw out an idea here for you. This is a new reality that you may be able to experience in due time. 0G concerts.
Concerts?
Boom.
Yeah, you know the 0G flights that you can take. They call it, what do they call it? The vomit comet. Yeah.
I thought for a moment you were talking about like a new Gatorade.
That's right. Is that what they call it?
Zeros. Yeah.
Gatorade Zero.
Gatorade Zero. No, it is actually where you go up in one of those vomit comets, the 0G flights, and they are planning on, the company that does those is planning on starting concerts on those flights as well, so that you will be able to experience a rave. Actually, they've done a rave, which is different from a concert. They've done a rave on the flights before, and now full-on concerts are coming to 0G flights.
The artists are also having zero gravity while they're performing?
I guess so. I mean, it wouldn't be the same if they're not on the flight, right?
I wasn't sure if you were just tuning in while you were up there.
If that's what they're doing, I feel like I'm being sold a false bill of goods.
They say, are you tired of the old birthday parties, anniversary weddings? So instead, you could have
I am tired of a lot of those things.
You could have your celebration in a zero gravity situation.
What do you think about this, Isaiah?
For concerts, I don't know if I'm for it. I need to be grounded at a concert, that way I can dance.
But think about the kind of dancing you would do with zero gravity.
I don't know if I feel like it'd be a lot of flailing. What more could you
isn't
really
that
do?
all that dancing is?
Hudson, dancing, my dancing, so much more than that.
Plus, I feel like you would have to, like, say you had a really important concert and you wanted to really pay attention. You can't if that's your first time having zero gravity, because you're just, flailing around.
You're trying to stay upright.
Yeah.
What kind of concerts? I mean, sometimes I want to pay attention. Sometimes I just want to go and flail around.
Well, when you just drop $600 on Taylor Swift, you're going to want to be paying attention.
Yeah.
And have you ever been motion sickness before? It's awful.
Can you imagine?
It doesn't happen to me.
So, like, you could not pay attention because you're just like, don't throw up. Don't
You
throw
got to
up.
think, too.
And now you're like, don't throw up at the concert.
This is already a disaster. They're going to be selling beer there, too. There's going to be drunk people flailing. Can you imagine the drunk people in the 0Gs?
But the flight's not that long. So, like, you don't experience zero gravity for too long. It'd be a very short concert with a lot of fees, and I think people would just be really mad.
All right, can we ask this then? What type of concert? Let's just say you were going to do this. What style of music would you be hoping to hear?
I don't want to do a concert. I think a party would be fun, but not a concert.
I think maybe That's tough to say. I don't think the rave thing's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I think maybe a house music-y type rave would be a good one where you can kind of just float to it, but nothing too hard, I would say.
RadioU fusion style, something like
and would
that.
it be one of those quiet ones where it's just in your headphones?
Oh, you're talking about a silent disco.
Yeah, like one of those.
That's not a bad idea either.
I don't know about that. I've never experienced that. I think the best would be if you do The Devil Wears Prada or Silent Planet and you have a 0G mosh pit.
Oh, no, you just would
Think
do it
about the
anyways.
injuries. Think about the
bounces into each
liability
other.
that they would be taking on. They do say that they're currently planning to do DJs and artists of that style at the moment because obviously playing an instrument at 0G, I mean, the drums, impossible, right? So that is a whole different animal that they may not ever be able to accomplish. But
No,
that
it would
doesn't
be
mean
just an acoustic concert from your
Yeah.
favorite louder band.
But again, then that's something you just want to sit there and quietly contemplate sometimes and sing along, and that's harder to do in 0G when you're doing a corkscrew.
So I think we'll pass on this for now, but maybe if they figure out how to make that work then, and not be so expensive.
I'm open to the idea.
Okay.
The words too expensive aren't in Nikki's vocabulary. This is The Riot. Radio U.
You want some NHL? Nope, not. Let me stop that from being a question. I've got some NHL playoff updates for you.
You're not going to give us a choice?
No, there's no choice because the NHL playoffs, if you haven't been watching, it's been so exciting. It's just the nature of hockey. I think hockey and baseball create such tension that cannot be replicated with football or basketball, especially when hockey gets into overtime and the next goal wins it. There's just nothing like it. You can't equal that in any other sport.
So they're doing their playoffs?
The playoffs are going on right now. We've had some major upsets, including the Florida Panthers came from 3-1 down to defeat the Boston Bruins, the team that we mentioned. They set the record for the most points in a season. They also set the record for the most hateable team in all of sports. And
Why is it the most hateable team in every sport ends up winning or doing well?
That's right. But the Boston Bruins, fortunately, were knocked out by the Florida Panthers. But now the Florida Panthers go on to face the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they're pulling a move that some are finding controversial. So I want to see your guys' opinion on this. The Florida Panthers, which play in the Miami area, are limiting tickets for their home playoff games against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
You can't buy them unless you're a U.S. resident.
Oh.
Based off of your credit card billing address. You need to have a U.S. address to be able to buy tickets to a Florida Panthers home game.
So they're trying to keep the Canadians out.
They are.
Keep them out.
Yes.
Keep them out.
Just for the
Keep 'em out.
game, just for the game.
Keep them out.
Is that because they want a better home team advantage?
Some are speculating that because it kind of makes sense. If you're a team in the United States, you would want people from the United States. It's just more complicated to sell things outside of the country. But nobody really pointed this out previously. And I think ordinarily the Panthers would be happy during the regular season to sell to Canadian residents
Fans, yeah.
because they will travel down, or a lot of them have they live in Canada, but they have a Florida vacation home or summer home or whatever. And so they would normally be happy to sell them to Canadian residents. But in this instance, they can't have a bunch of Maple Leafs fans coming in
They don't want it.
and, messing up their home ice advantage. Are we for or against the take back the ballpark, except as an ice hockey arena in this case?
Well, if you are a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, you have to be, yes, they're saying a resident of the United States to be able to, through Ticketmaster, get tickets to the game. I'm not sure if there's another way to
Probably
get tickets.
secondhand.
Yeah, like if you went to the actual stadium and just got them that way.
In person.
So I'm not sure.
Which is obviously fraught with risk, or you could do StubHub. What do you think,
You
guys?
could just fly. You could just fly
Yeah.
9 hours and be like, maybe I get in.
Maybe
Fingers
not.
crossed.
We'll see.
I think this is a pretty typical playoff thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, the whole crossing of the borders thing, that's what makes it more of a story. But usually for playoff games, the playoff tickets are always given to season ticket holders first.
Right.
Like they're always offered to them first. And usually it's not a big deal either because if you're in the playoffs, like your team is usually your fans are going to sell out the home games anyway. But this is just another way to ensure it a little bit further. But every team is doing this in their own little way.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the Cavs were in the playoffs, like they were giving all their tickets to their season ticket holders. Or if you had bought a ticket like this year for the Cavs games and you lived in Ohio, then you were getting that before anybody in New York was. So every team does it, but I love the restriction on the borders. No better way to keep them out.
They're just saying some believe it's to preserve a home ice advantage for the atmosphere to have mostly fans of the Panthers to be in the stands during that time.
Yeah, some people are saying it's sad that they even have to do this. Well, those people are probably Maple Leafs fans, so get over it.
I'm sure there's plenty of Maple Leaf fans who have a U.S.-based credit card address, and so they can go.
And what is crazy is it's easier. It's certainly easier to get Panthers tickets than it would be for many Maple Leafs fans to get Maple Leafs tickets in Canada.
Exactly.
And so that's why they even have to feel the need to do this. But I like it. Even if they can't sell out the arena, it's better than having a bunch of Maple Leafs fans there.
You're not into that?
Yeah, no, that'd be horrible. And go Panthers, by the way.
Your For You page would be a lot more fun if it had Hudson, Nikki, and Isaiah. Follow at RadioU Official on TikTok. The Riot. Radio U.
You know what today is? National Teacher Appreciation Day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We have a lot of teachers
Typical.
Typical me.
Yeah. Not caring about
Do you
the
appreciate
teachers.
them or not?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate we have a lot of teachers who listen, and I would not want any of that. So I always appreciate you guys.
I don't think any of us are cut out to be teachers whatsoever. You think so? That we'd be very bad at it. I was thinking, though, we should all think of a great teacher story. We could dump. I'm sure it's probably easier to think of a teacher you could dump on and be like, remember that stupid thing that Mrs. Woodson did?
Yeah.
But what about a good teacher story? Anybody got any? Isaiah, didn't you've said in the past, you remember the names of every single teacher you've ever had?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah?
I think I can remember all
Most of them?
Most of them, yeah.
So that means you had ones that you always liked?
I had good teachers, yeah.
Who was your favorite?
I don't really remember. If I had to pick one favorite, for me now, I'm thinking like my college professors are probably more of my favorite ones because I spent a lot more time with them than my other teachers. And also my other teachers, we didn't have that same connection, because like a 6-year-old and like a 40-year-old, they don't have as much in common. As like a 22-year-old and a 40-year-old, oddly enough. And so I feel like I connected more.
Especially a 40-year-old that's in the same industry that the 22-year-old's getting into.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like I connected more with my college professors. They were a lot cooler, too, where I could have a little bit more personality, where my younger professors or my younger teachers, not so much.
Probably
it was more of like a mother-son thing going on.
They're just excited for you to get out of the year.
Yeah, they just were more inclined to yell at me than like all the other stuff. So. But I do remember the majority of them. I don't know if I have a certain favorite that stands out above the rest at this point.
Do you have a story that comes to mind of like a teacher that went above and beyond for you?
That did something cool for me?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like the coolest thing a teacher did for me. One time I plagiarized and they didn't kick me out of school. That was really nice. That was pretty great. I'm trying to think of any other times where I got in trouble and they didn't really punish me.
That's what it always is, right?
That's a sign of a good teacher.
Yeah.
That was the main one. Yeah, that was a good one.
Nikki, you got a favorite teacher?
I'm awful. I don't remember any of them. And I don't know if we connected. I don't know if any of us did.
Well, they clearly didn't get through to you.
I don't think I was a big issue. Like, I wasn't a problem, except for maybe a few times. But for the most part, I just got what needed to be done. I wasn't the best, and I wasn't the worst.
I'm trying to think of my favorite teachers.
It was your mom. Your mom taught you.
Well, she was one of my teachers. She did a pretty...
Did your aunt teach you too?
I think, like, for homeschool, sometimes you can do, what's the words? Not
yes, Nikki,
collabs.
tell us about how I was homeschooled.
Well, what did you do?
It's called co-teaching.
No,
Would you like to homesplain to me?
Yeah, so what happens is you get like a little group of them.
And then you go to the other person.
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
And then you get homeschooled by somebody else.
Yeah, you go around to some other basement or something, and they teach you over there, and then it's all the same.
Yeah. I think a lot of the favorites of that with teachers for me too was when I did something real stupid and they didn't get mad at me pretty much. I did have a lot of good gym teachers because that was one thing we didn't have a gym at home, believe it or not. So we had to go do gym class. And one guy, Mr. Westbrook, Pastor Westbrook, he always would praise my hockey abilities.
Ooh.
Nobody else, when we would play floor hockey, ever seemed to be able to come alive like I could. And Mr. Westbrook always appreciated that.
Wow.
He
Did you
saw
remember
that in
that?
you, that talent.
Yeah, he did. And then also I had a friend, one of my friend's brothers was also a gym teacher. So he was hard on us.
What was he? Was he like 3 years older than you guys? Or
Yeah, pretty much. They had to find teachers somehow. So.
Got it.
But he did a good job. He was real fit. So I should have learned more from him.
Well, my
probably.
radio professor just retired.
Oh.
Scott Eaker, shout out Scott, great guy, just retired.
He did a good job,
I mean, clearly.
obviously.
Well, he's probably looking back. He's like, well, most of them are pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, if you are a teacher, happy Teacher Appreciation Day. You're way better than all of us.
I bet you today's going to be a good day for a teacher. You get like so many gift cards probably.
You should get like a free coffee
There
or
probably
something.
are deals too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, this must be like the one good day to be a teacher.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Now, there's a trend going around. It continues to just grow and grow and grow, and that is the dinks.
Yeah,
The dink trend. That stands for dual income, no kids.
but you can have dogs. You can have pets, I believe, because you
Yeah.
can be like, you can still be a dad, doggy dad, but not like an actual kid dad.
Yeah, though obviously dogs are way cheaper than kids, so
Have you
most of the
had
time,
many dogs?
anyways. So that is it's where people on TikTok, particularly, and Instagram, just influencers going around. It's two people, so they both are making money, and they don't have to spend that money on kids, so they can spend it on other fun things.
It's usually showing travel or Costco. And like,
Or
you can
Costco.
buy whatever you want at Costco.
Isn't Costco like the best if you do have kids though, because you have to buy in bulk?
No, I just think it's showing that you can still buy whatever you want because Costco can just be super expensive no matter what sort of family you have.
You could just buy like regular stuff though too. But I thought Costco was all about the deals. But yeah, the dual income, no kids thing, it does make it very tempting. I'll tell you, it's not that easy. I've had a dual income and no kids.
And you still do.
And I still never got to go to Bora Bora.
But you just gotta wait.
You just
You
have to
gotta
wait
just
longer.
hold
One
out.
day.
Well, then is that supposed to make you feel bad if you're right, you're with someone, you have a dual income, but you still can't manage to live the life that these people are showing?
Yeah, I don't think.
You're like, why can't I?
I think that if as long as you do your finances right, I think that you can be fine.
that you're not going to Bora Bora.
Yeah.
But I think if you just do it right, you can figure it out.
Okay, that's what people say to make themselves feel better, like they could possibly.
You can.
But you're not.
It depends
As long
on
as
how
you have a
much-
job.
It depends how much your dual incomes are.
Yeah, but I think if you have no kids over the course of time, if you have no kids and you have a dual income, at some point in time, you're going to be doing better than you would be if you had kids.
Well, let's just all wait until we can get enough money to go to Bora Bora.
Yeah, that's right. We can race to that.
Yeah.
But there's also other things that are. I mean, I don't even know why Bora Bora is the top on the list. There's other places I'd rather go, kids or no kids or whatever.
Sure, they're saying this is again brought to you by the past year of everything being so expensive and no one wanting any extra cost with that.
Does anyone feel like sometimes though people with no kids are always trying to show off?
Sure.
You
Well, they're
ever
not
feel-
showing
But
off
so
us, and
are
that's just
people-
their actual
But
lifestyle.
now wait, so are people with kids. So I think it's
Yeah,
just different
no,
types.
What
You're
would you
right.
rather see?
You're
My
right.
trip to Cancun or look at Joey. This week he did a finger painting. I don't want to see what your kid is lackluster work, all right? Put it back in the phone. I'm over it. I went on a trip this weekend. Look at me having fun.
See, there's the difference between both of them.
Yeah. I mean, they both do suck, which is why I just don't go on TikTok.
That
is-
also fixes
That's
it too.
one way to avoid it. But no, you're definitely right. The finger painting, we don't need that.
Yeah, but then you know what's going to happen, though? Everybody does it. I do it with Jim all the time. I'm like, look at Jim. Look at this video of my dog doing this. Not impressive.
Isn't there an old rule? There's 3 things people don't want to hear about. It's your kids, your vacation.
And your dogs, your pets.
Has to be.
I was thinking your fantasy team.
Oh, okay, that too.
That one too, and your dog. People don't, you know what? People just don't care about your life.
That's
man.
right. Just shut up.
Let them
Shut
talk
up.
about themselves. That's what they want to talk about.
That's a real downer on social media there, aren't you?
I am a real downer on it. I'm done. I've had enough.
We're over you guys' crap.
Unless
we don't
it's
want to hear about
unless it's a funny quip, a joke of some kind. Keep it to yourself.
Find more Riot content online. riot.radiou.com.
All right, here's a question. What's a tradition you think we should just ditch?
Tradition?
Yeah. Where it's time to get with the times.
I don't feel like
And the times haven't caught up yet.
Does anybody else feel though like we don't do as many traditions as maybe like your parents did or had you do when you were younger? I thought I got rid of most of them.
I think some stuff that we don't even realize is tradition.
Yeah.
Because one of the top things that jumps to mind to me is like, okay, weddings are so traditional, right? And we are moving more and more past that, where more people are doing more casual stuff, doing things more differently, but there's still so much tradition with weddings. Here's one that's very new. Promposal.
Yeah.
I'm ready to ditch that one.
Yeah, that's been around for a few years.
Yeah, it's a dumb tradition.
Okay. Here, let me make my dumb tradition list from Hudson. Anything with a formal asking a question. So
Well, I don't think it's bad to ask people to the prom. I just think if you're doing a showy thing for social media, I
you
think
don't
you
like
should
that?
just go talk to the person and tell them you like them and say, accompany me.
all right. Well, Isaiah, what else?
Women won't like that. They won't like that.
They don't mind having attention drawn to themselves this way.
Okay, so what are some that you guys have?
I don't know. You got to give me more. Are you talking like holiday traditions or just like family stuff?
How about this one?
Like, I don't like turkey at Thanksgiving. There we go.
Well,
You
just
wanna
ruin it
ditch
for
that?
everybody.
Yeah,
Just ruin
right,
it for
'cause most
everybody.
people, if it's deep fried, we're okay. But actually, you know what, Nikki, I can get on your side. I
Like
don't think it should.
Thanksgiving, I just don't do anymore. I don't like it.
I don't think it should have to be turkey. There's a reason, and I've said this a million times before, that we only have turkey like that at Thanksgiving because nobody wants it the rest of the year because it's
That's
not actually
right.
very good.
That is right.
How about this one, though? Tipping.
Tipping?
Stupid tradition.
That's a hard one. I don't think people get paid enough in some
I agree with that.
workforces, so that would have to change first. Otherwise, we have to tip.
Yeah, I know. I think that's how it should be. I think it's the only reason we tip is because of tradition.
Yeah.
But you don't think servers should be the only people on earth to get paid $2 an hour? No. Honestly, I think it would make sense if they just made money like everybody else.
Yeah, you would think, right?
But I don't
that's
know
the
if
one that they, you
that's
know-
not going to ever change. That's too big of a thing.
Well, unless we get really loud and annoying about it.
Okay.
If you get loud
Or you know
and-
what we do, Hudson?
What's that?
We just stop tipping.
You can't do that unless the other one.
But listen, if you want me to
No.
pay you, do I have to pay your workers? This is crazy.
Listen,
why don't you just
We
pay
just
them?
explain it to the workers. We say, listen, you've done a very nice job.
Oh, that's not going to go well.
And I believe that you should be paid a living wage,
Yeah.
which is why I'm not going to tip you.
Because I'm standing up for that.
I'm actually, I'm going on strike with you. I'm on your side that you should be paid what you deserve to be paid, which is not $2 an hour.
Why don't you tell them that after you get your food? So
Yes.
not when you're just starting the order.
Yeah, at the end of actually, I'll write it out in a nice little note.
Oh, that's the worst.
Put this on your boss.
Yeah.
This isn't
the
me.
worst.
I'm not doing this to you.
Show this to your manager, actually.
All right. Well, these are great traditions that you're really bringing up.
We got a couple more here. What about big weddings?
No.
People like those? Keep
It's a
those
big,
going?
You know what a big wedding is?
A big tip?
A big waste of money.
Big waste of money.
Yeah.
All right.
How about gender reveal parties?
Sure.
Everybody
Yeah.
loves those.
Gender reveal parties suck.
Oh, we got Black Friday shopping.
So bad. I just hate Thanksgiving. I feel like I'm nicer.
Men having to
I
be the
know.
ones to propose.
Okay.
Obviously, that won't change. Bachelor and bachelorette parties. Last one I've got here, taking selfies at the gym.
Oh.
I
Is
like
that
doing that.
Is that a tradition?
It is for me every day.
That's a more modern tradition. That one's fine to stay.
Like the promposal. So all you got is turkey at Thanksgiving, huh?
Well, I just don't like. I don't like a lot of the gatherings or the big showy holiday sort of stuff.
So
Anything
Christmas, is that good for you or no?
anything that requires work on a day you get off for a holiday, I just don't like.
I want to hear people texting in. I know that we can't be alone. Like we're modern folks. And so that's why I'm surprised that you're such a modern woman. I'm surprised you're fine with things just continuing to be the way they are, the way they have been for years. there's things we got to get rid of. So text in at 8772 Radio U. Let's find some more traditions that we can do away with.
I just love your attitude towards this.
I'm just trying to be progressive. I'm trying to move on.
Hope that you never get Hudson at your restaurant.
I'm trying to move us towards a more perfect world.
Yeah, that'll work.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
The question is, what is a tradition that it's time to do away with? I think we've got some good
perfect song
ideas.
to come out of, since I don't want to live like this anymore.
Yeah. Nikki doesn't want to live with turkey on Thanksgiving.
Oh, no. I don't even like Thanksgiving at all. I am no longer thankful for Thanksgiving. So I think you get rid of the whole thing.
Ungrateful is what I'm hearing. I'm saying tipping, not because I don't think that people should be, thanked for their service. I just think that they should just be paid just like the rest of us. And it shouldn't be on us to decide how much to give them every time we buy a taco.
Yeah, that's a good one. Phil just texted in, said Easter egg hunts. That kind of falls under the holiday thing that we're showing. Or
Holidays are ripe for tradition, though.
there's a lot.
And I think there's a lot of holiday stuff we could do away with, and we probably enjoy the holidays more, don't you think?
Unless, Phil, your parents still give you Easter eggs with some change or cash in them. No one needs to get rid of that tradition.
I do like how Lenya texted in and said that my promposal idea was a good idea.
Oh, you like that? Because you want to get rid of promposals.
I do want to get rid of promposals and just say, accompany me. And apparently that would work. I've also got a text in from Kevin who says that we should get rid of Times Square on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, that's a good one to knock out of. Yeah.
Times Square?
Yeah, but where are you supposed to like what? Is it because it's cold?
I don't know why they would want to get rid of that. You just like you're forced to go. You don't even have to watch. It's not even a tradition.
But it
just
feels
turn
like
the channel, man, if you hate it.
It feels like that's the epicenter for a lot of the celebrations from it.
But what's so bad about that?
Well, maybe we don't even have to have the New Year's Eve
Yeah, let's
celebration.
just not celebrate anymore. Let's just turn it off, Kevin.
Oh my gosh, Hudson, I'm so glad you brought this up. Getting rid of all these traditions will free up so many days.
Yeah. What about
you have so many more days off.
What about Matt who says daylight savings time?
That's always the big
There
one.
we go.
Anytime anybody wants to do that.
Yeah.
That's always a big one.
I also have Aaliyah here who says father-daughter dances at weddings.
Oh, that.
I can see why that could be uncomfortable for a lot of people.
Yeah, true.
It's like a pick your tradition,
Yeah.
If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to, don't do it.
But then if you don't do it, then people start to murmur.
Yeah, well, let them murmur.
Like
Yeah.
your relatives who still believe in the tradition.
Yeah. Well, you could just not invite them.
Okay, there's
Let them
another
murmur
thing.
then. Yeah.
Murmur from a distance.
Uh-huh. You got any more, Isaiah? You think
What
you
about
jogged your mind?
This is going to be a controversial one. What about like diamond rings?
Diamond rings?
Stupid.
No.
Women, I'm sorry, but why? They're so expensive. It's crazy.
You're just
Like, what's the point? I just don't understand it. Like, I get it. Whatever the wedding ring, I got it. But at the same time, it's wildly expensive.
Now, are you saying just jewelry in general?
No, I'm talking
for
about a wedding
an
ring.
engagement ring?
Yeah, if you want to buy your own jewelry and spend money on it, I think that's fine. But like for me, like this, yet again, I'm not gonna buy some crazy ring for myself that it's gonna be crazy expensive anyway. I think it's wild.
You don't like giving gifts?
I like
to somebody
giving
you
gifts,
love?
but I don't like giving $1,000 gifts.
I see. So we're trying to pare things down to a more reasonable level with our proposals, with our prom stuff, with our
Well-
dances and engagements.
Women, think about this. How would you like it if you had to give us a diamond ring to get us to do something?
Actually,
crazy.
that sounds like it'd be quite fun to go shopping for. So I don't
Not when
know
you had to
if-
pay for it.
I think it'd be great.
Exactly.
It's a show of love. I don't think there's a problem with it. And the sparklier, the better.
She's right. Diamond rings are a great way to show how much you love somebody.
After they lose it in 3 months.
Actually, yeah, for a guy, never give a guy a ring.
Yeah.
Never,
But
ever.
It's a nice way to say, I love you, honey. This many dollars worth.
Maybe there should be women's engagement. What are they? Tungsten rings.
The tungsten.
That could work with the silicone
Yeah, what a
ones.
cop out.
Well, those are good. Those are good options.
What if we just started over without tradition? You think we'd come up with all the same stupid stuff? Probably not, right?
I don't know. It just depends.
We would.
If we wait, I mean, it'd be different stupid stuff.
Because you know what happened every year? They'd be like, you know what? We should all get together this time next year, eat the exact same things, and do the exact same stuff.
And while we're watching Times Square.
Yeah, exactly.
Hudson and Isaiah seem like they know a lot about sports, yet somehow it's Nikki that always gets it right. The Riot, Radio U.
Do either of you guys think that you could successfully pull off a bank robbery?
A bank robbery?
Yeah, if you were at the bottom of the barrel, the end of your rope, and you're like, I need something, I need some cash, and I need it fast.
Yeah.
You think you could pull off a bank robbery and get away with it?
No, I think I'd be better trying to take money behind the scenes sort of way, not so visible with,
What's that called?
Blue or, well, okay, yeah.
What's it called? Like not Bernie Madoff style?
Something like that.
Embezzling.
Embezzling,
You think you could be a good
yes.
embezzler?
I would think that I'd feel more comfortable.
White collar crime?
Exactly.
Yeah, that does sound more like you, doesn't it?
I don't want to be all showy, breaking into a bank. I don't even want to go to the bank nowadays for just like bank stuff. So
Yeah. What about you, Isaiah? You think you have it in you?
To rob a bank?
Yeah, and get away with it.
I don't think so.
Because anybody can walk into a bank, especially if you have
rob
a
it.
gun, and just say, give me money, but you're going to get caught.
I think it's a lost art.
Yeah,
It is.
it is.
They used to pull it off all the time.
The movies make it look so cool, too.
There didn't used to be cameras. That's the big difference.
Right. And you used to just be, you watch some of these old movies, and based off of real things that really happen, and the guys are like hanging out the windows of their cars, they drive away going, you'll never catch me, copper.
And they got like millions of dollars and they were never found again.
Yeah, and never get caught for years and years and years, and they do it right in
The
plain
good old
daylight.
days.
Yeah, the good old
When you could rob a bank.
But I have a new survey here. When asked of 2,000 adults, 1 in 8 believe that they could successfully pull off a bank robbery based off of what they've learned from TV and movies.
Oh, from true crime stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
See, when I think about a crime that I think I could get away with, like a major crime, robbing a bank is not one of them. I don't think I'd be able to do it. I think, first of all, that's not something you need a posse. You need a team to be able to do that.
But the more people that are involved, I feel like the greater it is, you guys will be caught.
And you have to split it. Who wants to do that? So if I was gonna commit a crime and get away with it, probably murder.
That's the one you don't want to learn
That's
about.
what you'd lean to?
Well, so much of the true crime stuff is involving that sort of crime.
Yeah.
So we just don't learn about bank
I've
robbery.
heard all of the pitfalls. I think I could definly do it.
You're thinking if you could do any crime and get away with it, you would go with murder?
It's not that I want to.
I think I
but-
tried to steal from Kroger or something.
Well, that doesn't count. I'm talking about like a major crime.
That feels pretty major to me
It
for
says
my life
major
right
as in-
now.
Isaiah, people start off with that.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then they keep going.
That's
They
a
say-
gateway crime.
They say that 24% have considered how you might go about conducting a bank robbery yourself. 36% believe that a skill is needed for a robbery, like a disguise or something. And then 11% think that you need to be intimidating. So like physically just bigger and stronger to be able to pull off a bank robbery.
If you were going to rob a bank, what mask would you wear?
Over my face?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because like the thing you always see in movies and stuff nowadays is like, it's not just, you don't just cover your face. You wear like a costume mask.
But you should wear a mask that looks not like a mask, like look older or something.
That's a good idea. One that would like make you appear as someone else. I'm thinking a pig mask.
A
Pig?
pig mask? It's
Or
been done.
Basset Hound.
They'll find you by your dog.
Who would I do? Abraham Lincoln.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Honest Dave, they
good.
said.
He would never do it.
That's
I'd say. And
It's a
then
little nod to that. That's good.
And he can be kind of intimidating. You look at Abraham Lincoln, you get a little nervous.
But then you have to have the hat and then put the money in the hat.
I think the gun does most of the intimidation, if I had to guess,
Probably.
more than your body.
Yeah. But isn't a gun more intimidating in the hands of different people?
That's true.
If you were holding one, I wouldn't be nervous at all.
You'd be like,
I'd just be nervous that
he
you
doesn't
would.
even know how to use
I'd
it.
be nervous you'd drop it or misuse
Yeah.
it.
But if you saw Abraham Lincoln holding it.
you'd be like, he knows what he's doing. I'm not going to mess around.
Well, I don't think we'll steal from a bank no matter what, but it feels like a lot of work. So that's a
Yeah.
pass for us.
If I
One in
had
8
to,
people, wild.
what?
The confidence on these 8 people
Yeah,
that are willing to do that.
1 out of 8.
1 out of 8 that think they can rob a bank.
That's a
no
high
way.
percentage. I
That's
feel
no way.
the bank is. You're not going to get away with it. Pick something easier.
So says the bank president. You won't get away with it.
You've made it all the way to the end of the Worst of the Riot. This show only exists because of support from listeners like you. Find out more and help out at RadioU.com/donate.